Shannon, give Tebow a letter grade for the block.
Give the block speak for itself. It's not NFL quality. It's not high school quality. It's not college quality. There's nothing, and I understand and I see people say, well, he got the job done. That's not how it works. Preseason is an opportunity for you to work on your technique. And this is why I said, Skip, I needed the preseason. And maybe some people didn't need the preseason, but this was my opportunity to work on the technique, to get my timing, to get my rhythm, to get my breathing route right, to understand. Because you have to understand, you look at the guy that he blocked, that's not Myles Garrett. That's not J.J. Watt. I can assure you, had that been one of those guys, they would have taken Tim Tebow and threw him into the running back. I don't know if his job was to seal. If his job was to seal, you use the left shoulder. If it was the kick out, you use the right shoulder. And I understand in his head, Skip, it's hard. As a quarterback, what do you always taught? Never use your throwing shoulder to make a tackle or to make a block. You always do the opposite shoulder. So if something happens, you still might be able to play. But if something happens to your throwing shoulder, and that's in the back of his mind, Skip, but that's not good enough. I can assure you, if that was a normal tight end and he put forth that effort in a preseason game, come Tuesday, he'd be on the waiver wire.
That's not Tim Tebow.
Not Tim Tebow. No. I don't believe that'll be Tim Tebow. Because, first of all, Urban gave him that opportunity. It shows you, Skip, and that's what I've tried to tell people. Only you, Tim Tebow, and Tebow Mania thinks he's so talented as an athlete that he can switch positions at the age of 34 and legitimately make an NFL roster with nothing given to him. He would not even give it an opportunity because it's just too hard. And I get Logan Thomas, but Logan Thomas said, you know what? I'm not going to be a quarterback. I'm going to try to make an NFL team as a tight end. And he put forth the effort. That's not effort. That's showing me somebody that has no desire to block. There's another block in the game that he looked even as bad, if not worse than this. Skip, this is embarrassing. And guys are looking at Urban Meyer. First of all, they looked at him sideways when he brought Tim Tebow on. And after they see this, I don't know how many of them that saw this, it went viral. I don't know how many of them going to be in the meeting room and watch this. But if they see this and he's still on the roster after Tuesday, they're going to look at Urban as like, man, you a joke.
Think there'll be a mutiny?
I think there'll be no mutiny. Urban has Shad Khan, the owner, has given him total control.
Yep.
Urban likes to run things his way, Skip. That's why he tries to do it. He's already gotten in trouble. Brought the Iowa strength and conditioning coach on after he had gotten in trouble in Iowa and got dismissed. He tried to have these practices with the NFL says we're not going to have these practices in training camp and OTAs. Urban is used to doing things his way because he has that kind of control at Florida, at Ohio State. But there are different ways you have to do things in the NFL. But, Skip, this was bad. You know it was bad. Everybody that saw it know it was bad. You want to take back what you said, but you think Tim Tebow cannot block me? Okay.
I don't, actually, because I haven't gotten to speak yet. You said, I know it's bad, but I haven't spoken a word yet.
No.
And I don't know that block was bad, but I'll explain that if you're going to give me the floor.
I'll give you the floor.
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead, give me the floor.
All right. Before I launch upon this, I would like to step back and say that once again, this proves my point. No athlete I've ever covered or closely observed has ever detonated the sports world to the love side and the hate side the way Timothy Richard Tebow continues to do it at age 34 as he is trying to be a quote-unquote tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've never seen anything quite like what happened on Saturday evening. We had 10 preseason games being played on Saturday afternoon into the evening. 10 games, and they featured Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, obviously, in this game. And my man Trey Lance in another game, which was San Francisco against Kansas City. And Trey Lance threw an absolute lightning bolt of a rocket of a pass for an 80-yard touchdown.
Right.
And it trended a little bit, but this trended on top. This just got legs and was fueled by its own fire. And before I knew it, it's going to the top of the trends. And it stayed there all night long. We are talking about a block, quote-unquote block, thrown by Tim Tebow, number 85, He's actually the tied for fourth string tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, so that's the perspective of what just happened on
Right.
Saturday evening.
Right.
And we are actually leading our show Undisputed on Monday morning with this. And I'm happy to do it because I am happy to try to make my case for what I saw on the block. And I'm obviously not an NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame tight end like Shannon Sharpe is sitting across from me. But this is what I saw on said block. I saw a third-string left defensive end named Curtis Weaver, once upon a time a fifth-round pick of the Dolphins who's bounced around, got waived by the Dolphins, wound up with the who are they playing? I can't even think who they're playing.
Browns.
The Browns, yeah, this Cleveland Browns. Okay, so he's the Browns. He's the third-string left defensive end. And on said play, Curtis Weaver, I don't know what defense was called because I was not in the defensive huddle, but he crashes down.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the defense called or if he just sort of lost his mind in a preseason game.
Yeah.
And he just almost stumbles down the line of scrimmage to his right. Mm-hmm. And he's careening sideways. And Tim Tebow is supposed to execute what I grew up in this business learning is a wham block.
Right.
That's you go in motion, and I don't know if you guys call it a wham block.
We called it wham, yeah.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah,
because way back my early days with the Cowboys, they called it a wham block. You send the tight end in motion, and he has a designated target, and it's often that defensive end, and you have to blow him out of the hole, and you're actually the lead. You're sort of the fullback.
You're the lead blocker,
You're
basically.
the lead blocker on the play. Not your favorite kind of play when you played, right?
Because I did a lot of that.
Yeah, you did a lot of that, but you didn't love a lot of that. Okay.
No.
So Tebow, he's going down the line, and as he looks to his left, Curtis Weaver is crashing down the line of scrimmage. And I'm sure there's some shock factor, like, what is he doing?
Right.
Well, I guess I'll chip him a little bit as he goes by just to make sure he stays blocked going that direction. So he kind of awkwardly chips with his inside shoulder.
His off shoulder,
Yeah. And Curtis Weaver falls completely out of the play.
Right.
And Tebow is so awkwardly off balance because the man he's supposed to block is running away from him that he actually stumbles sideways for a second and ends up sort of banging face mask with one of his own teammates, right? Mm-hmm. Which is just completely weird. But the point is, you said that some people said he got the job done. Well, I think I was the first to immediately tweet he did get the job done. So I'm sure they were sending that tweet to you.
Right.
So the point was, he accomplished what his designation on the play was to get that number 59, that left defensive end. He didn't really have to do anything, but he got it.
Right.
And the running back named Ogunbowale, he takes the handoff to the right, and it was a pretty good hole.
Right.
And he got his 6 yards. It was actually a 2nd and 8 play from the 11-yard line, from the Cleveland's 11-yard line.
Right.
And he took it 6 yards down, and they ended up throwing a touchdown pass on that play for their first touchdown of the game. So my point is, if you had been in his shoes, what else can you do? You might have just watched him run and just said, like, you could have cut up to the second level and looked for somebody else.
No. I wouldn't, because that's my responsibility, Skip. His job, the way I would, when I'm coming in motion, I'm looking at him, but I'm looking at that safety. The safety is telling me, well, there's somebody already that's there for force, this end's going to crash. But, Skip, that's nuances that Tim Tebow wouldn't know because he's never played that position.
He has never played that
position.
So
in that situation, Skip, what I do is I square him and I wash him down. That's what I would have done.
Okay, but by the time he turned to block him, he was sort of gone. He was like he had already run himself out of the play.
Yes.
Because obviously 59 doesn't know the play is about to go right over his gap, right through his hole.
But that's the thing, Skip. There are nuances, like, you know, things about journalism and writing and TV that when I just came here, I didn't know. But you have done this for so long, it's second nature to you.
Got it?
Me having played and I learned fronts, I know, okay, I'm looking at this front. This is what we call an over front. Mm-hmm. I go in motion and I see where that safety is. I say, he ain't got no choice because this guy's going to fill the lane, and so the end's going to what we call pinch.
Okay, so I ask you again, is it not your second line of thinking to go second level to say, if I don't really need to block him, should I just cut up the field and look for the safety?
An offensive lineman probably would have done that. He probably would have given a hand, seeing the guy taking him out of his place. But Tim is saying, hold on, that's my guy. I'm not that advanced yet, Skip, where I can give a hand. He's out of the play. Me turn up and maybe help and create another block. I don't have I'm not worried about that. That's next level. That's graduate stuff.
Okay.
So
right.
he's not there yet.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, Skip, is that was the wrong shoulder. You have to understand, in my line of thinking, Skip, I was always thinking, that might be Howie Long. That might be Bruce Smith. That might be Reggie White. And the things of that nature. And that's why I said I needed the preseason, because that was my opportunity to work on my footwork. Because those guys, let me tell you something about Howie Long. Howie Long, because I don't know if he had a hearing aid or something, but he could smell a wham block coming. These guys are really good. And they know when that trap block is coming. Mm-hmm. And when they feel that trap block coming, they say, hell with the running back. They're looking to unload on you.
Okay. Great. So here's the point. You said that any other tight end would be cut by Tuesday off this block. And I say, I don't know what else he could have done under the circumstance. He did, quote unquote, get the job done. The play went for 6 yards. Where he gets cut on Tuesday, most tight ends, would be if he faced that man up. If 59 comes head to head or tries to blow him up, and he tries to play patty cake with him and gets knocked 5 yards into the backfield, then you'd say, you don't belong on an NFL field.
Do you actually think Tim Tebow really wanted to hit that guy? Because, Skip, like I said, blocking, and I know people are like, well, he ran, he broke Emmitt Smith. Running with the football and blocking, moving a man against his will is two entirely different things. The question is, it's not about size. Tim Tebow is plenty big enough. Blocking is about leverage and angles. Mm-hmm. Creating a leverage and creating an angle and having the leverage to move someone. Okay. That's all he needs to do, Skip. Okay. But there are nuances. It's all about want to. When they asked me to move tight end, at the time that Dan Reeves asked me to move, Skip, I was about 212 pounds, maybe 213, 14. But at that point,
Tebow's probably 260.
Okay. Skip. And we used to do short motion, Skip, and the center would swim a nose guard. Mm-hmm. I would have to wham Joe Phillips, so I would have to wham one of the
like the nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skip, that's 300 pounds, 212.
Yeah.
But Dan would always tell me, he said, son, just don't stop your feet. Hit him as hard as you can. You're probably not going to win, but we just need you to create a distraction, and the running back's going to hit the hole quick. Okay. And that's all he has to do, Skip. That doesn't look like he wants to. It looks like he's tipping.
As in tiptoeing.
Tiptoeing, yes.
I got it. Okay, to me, blocking is just like rebounding. In the end, it's some technique, some leverage, but in the end, it's just about your desire.
Yes.
Do you have the heart, the guts?
Yes.
The desire to do it. Do you want the ball worse than the other guy wants the ball, or do you want to get that man on the ground worse than he wants to make the tackle? So in the end, the one thing I wouldn't question about Tebow, I'd question technique, but I would not question his heart for it, because he was as physical a runner of the football, certainly at the quarterback position, as I have ever seen. Yeah. He did not mind contact carrying the ball. Now, you could argue at age 34, he's going to mind contact of men who are big or bigger than as big or bigger than he is. But I doubt it. I wouldn't dock him for that. Technique, yes. Guts, no.
Skip, as a guy that caught the ball and ran with it, I would much rather catch and run with it than block somebody. Because you
were not known for your blocking.
No, but you have to understand is that, no, I wasn't known, but it couldn't be a situation where I never got taken out of the game because of run blocking once I became a starter. Obviously, when I was moving around, they had Clarence Curry, Orson Mobley, guys that were more qualified to block, especially the younger. But as I got older, Dan's like, excuse me. Dan Reeves used to say, son, you're going to have to get better at blocking. He says, because it's a telltale. When we take you out, it's a run. We bring you in, it's a pass. We're going to have to be able to find a way to keep you on the field so they don't know run or pass. And Mike Shanahan told me once he got the job, he said, either you're going to do the job or we're going to find somebody else to do the job for you. But you won't be here.
Okay, so if you had been in Tebow's shoes, as you turn to make the block and you see him crashing up the line, you do what?
I'd have washed him down.
Washed him by doing what?
Just square him up.
Okay, but he's gone. You can't square him up. He's running away from you down the line of scrimmage.
But Skip, that's why they slide him in motion. That's why you normally, Skip, if you watch everybody the way they go in motion, we used to go in motion and we never squared our shoulders. Now if you look at him coming in motion, he's sliding. He's square. So he can see. So once they snap the ball, he see him disappears, I go right along with him.
Okay.
If you watch Tebow, look, he's square, Skip.
Okay. Did he not chip him in the right direction? Did he not keep his momentum going the wrong way for him?
But see, that's what I'm saying, Skip. If he's going to, once he sees him watch, your job is to seal him. You put your left shoulder on and seal him. So that way he can't spin back over the top.
Okay.
So you put your right shoulder on him, he could have spun back over the top.
Okay. He looked completely out of the play to me. When the play finished, he was quote unquote blocked. Now, he blocked himself out of the play because he ran himself out of the play. But did he blow the play up? No. He had nothing to do with the play.
But Tebow has to look at it like this. If he were to make this roster and he's going to be asked to do this, guys like that aren't going to be playing. That's going to be Myles Garrett.
All right.
That's going to be proven guys.
Okay.
That's going to be Joey Bosa.
Okay, so what we didn't get to see was Myles Garrett stand his ground or come unblocked face-to-face, mask-to-mask, nose-to-nose with Tim Tebow, and then we'd see what was what.
Well,
right?
the thing, D linemen, Skip, when they see people disappear, they know something's not right. Because, first of all, you're not going to block me? So you're just going to let me have a clear pass? So automatically their intent is already up. So he's already thinking. And so the moment he sees the tackle disappear, he's looking, okay, who's coming? He sees Tebow, he's attacking right now. He ain't going down the line. He's attacking right now.
Okay, but he didn't attack Tebow.
No, but
I'm just saying, this guy, Curtis Weaver, I hate to even keep calling his name. He's the third-string Browns defensive end. So it's unfair because that's the stage of this game that Tebow was thrown into.
But that's what I'm saying, Skip. But this is where your technique comes into play because that's not going to be Curtis Weaver.
Okay.
Those are going to be Joey Bosa or Myles Garrett, and that will get you.
You can't, quote-unquote, cut Tim Tebow for a play that got made, even if it was awkwardly made. It was just bizarre because I don't know what Curtis Weaver was doing, and you don't either.
Hey, Jim, we got the other play? Can we run the other play that we show? This is what I'm talking about, Skip. Now, look at this. He's off the ball.
Yep.
What's that, Skip?
I don't know.
Oh, he has the cutoff. That's all he has to do. And he's already off the ball, Skip.
Okay.
Head down, man down. So now the guy,
it
guy
looked like he tried to block two guys.
No. That's his guy right there. The guy's head up. The guy's in what we call a 7 is a 7. He's not a 5. Now, 5 shade, I get that. That's a hard block. That's what J.J. Watt plays. That's what Aaron Donald. They play what we call 5 shades. I don't want to get too technical with that, but that's inside out. That guy's what we call a 7 shade. He's not a cowboy. You know the cowboy front end, which is a wide 9.
It is.
This is what we call a 7 shade. Slight outside of the tight end.
Okay. I do not believe that Urban Meyer, I told you this from day number one, moment number one on this show. I do not believe that Urban signed or brought back Tim Tebow at age 34 to be an every down tight end. I don't think you'll see it. I think it's subterfuge. I think it's sleight of hand. Excuse me. I think it's misdirection by Urban and Tim. I think they're keeping under wraps the Tebow package of plays that will feature him as an H-back sort of tight end moving into the backfield, where he might take some wildcat snaps. This is all on short yardage or goal line.
But I thought you said he was going to be like a Taysom Hill. But Taysom Hill play punt. He plays punt return, kick return. He'll block. He'll throw a pass. He'll catch a pass. He'll run with the ball.
I never said he was exactly Taysom Hill because he can't run like Taysom Hill.
No, he doesn't have Taysom Hill's speed. But Taysom Hill made the team, Skip, because of special teams, because of his willingness to tackle, to block.
Okay. How many special teams reps did Tebow take
None.
on Saturday? He took none. He played 16 plays, but it surprised me a little bit that none were special teams because I thought they might want to ease him into special teams just to show the rest of the roster he's paying his dues.
Right. That's what I said. The exact same. So we must have been. Your ears must have been burning because I'm saying, hold on. How can you keep a third-string quarterback that's going to play 5-6 plays a game and he doesn't play special teams? Because Skip, the positions are valuable. You know, you only dress so many. Do I need an extra wide receiver? Do I need an extra run? Do I need a cornerback, an extra D lineman, extra offensive lineman? So, Skip, the positions are so valuable if he can't give me value on special teams because a lot of your backup wide receivers play special teams. Your backup linebackers play special teams. So if he's going to be the third stringer and he's going to be what we call a jack, do some of everything, Skip, he's going to have to play special teams.
Okay. So, did they feature tight end routes for Tebow at all? Did they show him? Did they throw him any 2 or 3 yard passes where you could say, let's just get him in the mix?
I don't even, Skip. I don't really know. Daryl Bevel. When I think about it, how tight end centric is it? It's not like Kansas City. It's not like what they wear in New England, where the tight end was heavily featured. It's not like the West Coast, where the tight end, you look at San Francisco, you look at Kansas City, and you look at some of these teams that run the West Coast offense and how heavily featured the tight end is. I don't know what their offense is, so I don't know how prominent the tight end would be featured. In urban systems, did the tight ends catch a lot of balls at Florida, at Ohio State? I don't think so.
Not to my knowledge.
Right.
I don't remember him having star tight ends where they featured the tight end.
Other than Aaron Hernandez, but
he was more H-back.
Right.
He would line up in the backfield sometimes.
Right.
So we had a couple. We had one official target to Tebow. If we could see the 2 throws, I don't even know what to make of these. There's one that gets knocked down, batted at the line of scrimmage a little bit. Here's one that's.
That's not him. I mean, the ball got tipped.
Okay. The ball got tipped.
Yeah.
He got one hand on it. Not sure what to make of that one. And then this is the tip. Here's the next one. This is Tavon Austin. It looks like this might have been intended for Tebow, who was open on the play. But Tavon, what are they both in the same? Somebody went the wrong way. Somebody ran the wrong route.
I thought at the beginning when Tebow's released, I thought it was a clear, and then they run the dagger. You know how some people skip. I run you out, and then we got the in-breaking route. But I thought Tebow looked back and saw Minshew step up. So he's like, well, I'm going to pull up. I'm wide open. I'm sitting in this hole. Well, if they got the route call, which is a clear dagger in behind, you got to keep going because the dagger is coming in behind you.
Yep, I'll buy that.
Like I said, without knowing, Skip, that's what it looked like to me. If I'm just looking at it, I'm like, okay, Tebow got to clear. They come in with the in-breaking route, what we would call a dagger route in behind it.
So that's the extent of his night.
Right.
In a game in which starters played almost none and many starters didn't play any at all. So he did pay some dues in that he was thrown in with a lot of 3rd and 4th stringers who obviously will not make the football teams in the final cut.
Right.
So I still
But that's what he should have been going up against. He should. I mean, you wouldn't put him in, Skip, you wouldn't put him in there with, a guy that's never played that position, and you're like, okay, I'm going to see what you can do against their starters. You wouldn't do that. You let him try to get his feet wet in a situation like this, understanding. Hopefully the tight end is talking to him, and it's hard, Skip, because the technique that you try to display on the dummies and on the practice field, you hope to be able to take it over to the game. Doesn't always work, but you can normally survive with technique.
I will be fascinated to see if in preseason game number 2, which will be this year's dress rehearsal game, Tebow gets more snaps, and if you see even glimpses of what I think will be the Tebow package of short yardage goal line, where he will carry the ball, maybe even throw the ball occasionally.
I don't think, Skip, me personally, I don't think if that's going to be the case, I don't think they reveal any of that.
They might not.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.